afternoon, Joe Mullender.
How you doing?
I'm alright. The question is, how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad now. A bit bad up, but yeah, I'm all good now. I'm all good. Now about sleep.
It was a bit of a ding-dong battle between yourself and Bolden.
Yeah, it was a tough one, to be fair, mate. It was. I knew it was going to be tough all along. I knew what I was sort of going into, but I was excited about going into it because I knew what was coming. But it was a good fight. It was a good fight. It takes two to have a good fight. Do you know what I mean? Two fighters got to want to fight. So fair play to Gary Bolden as well. And yeah, it was a good fight. It was a good fight.
So coming into this fight, remind the fans what was the expectations of Bolden and yourself before coming into this fight?
Well, Gary Bolden was a former Southern Area champion, and he's been into some good fighters in it. So a lot of people thought it'd be too much for me. So obviously, people were looking at that and thinking a lot of people wanted to watch this fight and thought it was a 50-50 fight, or that Gary was going to win it. So yeah, a lot of people turned up to watch it and that, and then obviously, hopefully, I like to think I put on a good performance and looked like I won the fight comfortably. But it wasn't that sort of fight that I won comfortably. I mean, it was just a battle, to be fair. But I'd like to think that I had more than enough for him. So
the reports were that you hurt him in a few of the rounds. I think in the first round you had him hurt badly and could have had him out of there. And in one of the rounds, it said that you had him so badly hurt, he was out on his feet, and you hit him with another left hook, and he woke him back up again. So I hear. I don't know how true that is.
Well, that's what Gary said to me after the fight. I mean, I caught him. He started fast. I started fast in the first round. He threw a lot more punches in the first round. I was just trying to hunt him down and that. And then first real shot I threw, I caught him and I badly rocked him, but. He showed he's a good experienced pro because he hung on in there and then got through the round, and then yeah, I would say I hurt him about 4 or 5 times, and like you say, I hurt him I think in the 5th or the 6th.
Yeah.
I rocked him and he said I hit him with a shot and the lights went out, and I hit him again just to try and put him down, and it woke him back up.
So wait, you put the lights out at him, and you've done a new trick now. You put the lights out and then brought him back up.
Yeah,
on again. What was that all about? Did you want more of a fight or what?
Devastated. When he told me, I was absolutely devastated. I wish I'd have just left it, but obviously, yeah. I mean, I obviously shook him and that, and what can you do? Do you know what I mean? The adrenaline takes over. I hit him again, and then yeah, he felt fantastic. So yeah, so I was gutted with that, but no, I mean, to be honest with you, how he didn't go down. I rocked him about 5 times. Just shows how tough he is, really.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of respect for him, and he's a nice fella after. I mean, a lot of people said after, like me and Gary were talking after, and had a few photos and that, and that's why people love boxing, because it's what makes us all different to any other sport, is that we beat the hell out of each other for how many rounds we're in there, but after, we're mates. Do you know what I mean? So
in the build-up to the fight between yourself and Bolden, was there any exchanges? Were there any words said, or was it just one of those, you know what, we'll have a fight?
I think there was a little bit on Twitter, not from me, but people saying, "Oh, he's too much for like Mullender," and I think I see one tweet from Gary saying, like, "I'm training hard, I'm looking forward to this, I'm looking forward to winning this fight." But that was it. But to be fair, Gary Bolden said to me after, he said, "Look, I didn't really say anything like that bad or this." Some people, look, it's opinions, isn't it? If people don't have their opinions, we don't sell tickets and we don't fight. So you just got to sort of not take it personally. And at least, my manager said, if they're talking about it, it's good news, isn't it? So
Absolutely. So going into the fight, let's take this back a bit. Going into the fight, you knew that you were. So your record was 4-0 going into the fight, correct?
Yeah, I've had 4-0. Yeah,
so 4-0, and how much fights had Gary had?
I wouldn't want to gamble and say how many he's had. I think he's had around 14.
Yeah.
I know he won a Southern Area title.
Yep.
He's been in the 10 rounder with Billy Joe, so he's obviously he's had good experience. Do you know what I mean? He's been in with top fighters.
I believe he went to the points with Billy Joe Saunders, if I'm right.
Yeah, he went the whole 10 rounds with Billy Joe.
So there you go.
and he beat one of my good friends, Lee Markham.
Okay.
Which personally I thought Lee won the fight, but it was he got the decision over Lee. Okay. So he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Do you know what I mean? He's not someone who you'd want to go in there with if you weren't confident with.
Right. Okay. Being that you had now 4-0 5 fights, and then you're going in with an experienced opponent, which Gary was. Did you feel the difference when you were in the ring?
Yeah, I did. And I'm not going to sit there and say no, I didn't. I did. When just the way. I mean, I spar top fighters every day because I'm in a good stable. All my stable mates are top fighters.
Yeah.
Like Tony Conquest, Mitchell Smith,
yeah,
Olshin Quinn, John Dignam. They're all
yeah.
AKA champions. They're all good fighters, but when it comes, it's different when you step in the ring for real. Do you know what I mean? On fight night. So
yeah.
Gary Bolden's by far the best fighter I've fought so far.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had it easy as a pro. That's one thing I would say. I've not had pregnant women put in front of me. Do you know what I mean? So I've had good fighters put in front of me that would test me early on. But yeah, Gary Bolden's by far the best fighter I've fought so far. And his punches are sharp and that, and it was tough for me to come through and that, but that's what I'd like to think is my strong point.
So when you were in the corner and you're looking at Bolden, before that first bell goes, what's going inside of Smoking Joe's head? I
can't wait to get over and punch his head in.
That's it?
Yeah, basically. I was...
Do you not think, does it ever go to your mind, this is my toughest bout, this is my toughest opponent, all that stuff?
That's when you know you're born to do it, do you know what I mean? When you're in front of the crowd and people expect of you, and that's when I get into the ring, I'm more comfortable then than I am 2.5, 3 hours before the fight. Yeah. That's when I'm nervous. I'll sit there and think, you think things over and things like that. I mean, I don't get nervous, but my adrenaline was pumping before this fight because I knew that the pressure was on, do you know what I mean? And hopefully, I want to earn enough money out of boxing and things like that to provide for my family, do you know what I mean? I've got kids, I've got a kid on the way, and so I knew it was on the line. If I didn't win this fight, then I wouldn't be going there. So that's the sort of thing I think of before the fight and that. But when I'm getting ready and I feel I'm getting more nasty, then ready to fight. But when I walk to the ring, I feel like I'm on it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not lying when I say that. And everyone says, "Oh yeah, I'm just ready to fight." If you're not ready to fight when you're walking to the ring and you get in the ring and you're not switched on, then you're never going to be switched on, are you?
Yeah.
I'm not nervous when I get in the ring. I'm nervous a couple of hours before the adrenaline starts pumping. But when I look at Gary, I looked at Gary over the other side of the ring, and I was just, to be honest, I was ready to fight. You see him as he's the reason, he's the person you got to get past to get where you want to get, and that's it. It's not personal, but it is a job. It is a job, and as long as you see it as a job, I think you know what you've got to do. Do you know what I mean? You keep in your head what has to be done.
So the the Bolden assignment is over. Okay,
yeah.
That's done. What do you take away from that, and what will you go back in the gym and work on?